Alright, we should be good.
Why Discord is not to here? Can someone tell something again, please? Say.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, Discord is running now. Okay. All good, all good. Hi, Chad. Hello. All of you. All of us. Everyone. I'm talking too much.
No, you are all good. There we go.
Wait, there we go. Now I'm also there.
Sorry, everyone. This
There
is
we
Yeah.
this has been
It's
interesting.
chaos. I'm sorry. It's chaos.
This has been interesting.
We're getting it sorted. We're figuring it out. Gotta do it. Samu, thank you for the sub.
Thank you for the song.
Wrong channel.
Yeah, but that's so stuck in my mind. I know that's a Sunny song, but it's so stuck in my head each time.
I get that. That's so valid.
I hope she's back soon.
Yes. Babies.
Oh yeah. Very exciting chapter for her.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Yes, do you hear all of us? Doesn't matter what stream you're in of our trees, do you hear all of us? That would be good.
Good to know.
Also, it's so easy to mute this Twitch channels. I just found out when I hit the M button, I just mute Twitch. So.
Lol. Interesting.
Yeah, let us know if everything sounds good.
It looks good, and you all have snacks, and I have no clue what all
Oops.
you will all need.
I have to do one thing. You are mislabeled on my screen.
Please, what? What did you do with my name?
Nothing. You say Samu and Samu says Vivka. So that's
Ah,
Okay.
there.
we're the
just,
same person.
There we go. Now,
Yeah.
now we got you sorted.
Beautiful.
Wait.
But you can hear us now, Luna.
As she answers my question or my sentence, I probably think she hears us.
Okay.
They can read your mind.
Oh,
Yep, but she doesn't have
no
snacks.
snacks. Me neither,
Me-
though. Me neither. I could eat Weißbrot.
Weißbrot, just like
Yeah.
a real German.
Yeah. I would also toast it.
Wait, so you have toast, or you have Weißbrot?
It's
Or-
just toast when it's toasted, so
No.
it's Weißbrot in this now state of being.
About to be toast. No longer vice broats, but then toast.
Yeah.
I disagree with that opinion. It's just toasted toast when it's toasted.
No.
I don't care. No. I've when I say Weißbrot, where I'm from, you get like a big round Weißbrot. Like no toast. You get toast when you say toast.
No, you just eat Mischbrot and Roggenbrot here. No Weißbrot.
Yeah, okay. It's the bakery in me.
Hi, Ted. We're absolutely normal.
Yes.
We're not discussing
This
bread
riveting
today, okay?
bread content we got going on. But all right, let me talk a little bit about this stuff here.
Yes.
No, wait. I have advertising. You have advertising. Maybe we should wait
I
until
don't.
until those advertisings
True.
are done.
Yes.
I mean, I have just 30 seconds. Phil is the one with the big advertise here.
Ooh.
I have
don't
the
even
bare
see
minimum.
I just
there.
it's the bare minimum for no pre-rolls. That's why it is there.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I just have my 30 seconds and that's it.
I could run
to
like 5
disable
minutes
the
an hour if I
advertisement.
wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that.
I know streamers who do this, and I just unfollow them because I think that's just ridiculous.
I
More
never-
talk of bread then, yeah. I mean, there's a story, Samu, me, and I'm not sure who was also there. I think Robert was there and someone else. We played, what was it called? Samu, this VHS game, Video Horror Society, I think it was
Yep.
called.
Yeah.
And this game was broken from the beginning because there was no real community. So we're stuck in the waiting lobby all the time, and we just randomly starting talking about bread. I think there's even still. I mean, it's in German, so it doesn't matter. But I think there's even still a best of from talking bread from this. Record of this game because we just talked bread. We were so through it because this waiting. You waited nearly an hour to get a lobby and then you were dead in the first 5 minutes. It was just ridiculous.
It was horrible,
Oh, that's brutal.
honestly.
But there it kind of started, and when always we have a long waiting stream, we kind of start talking about bread because
It's
we just
always-
started. What is the bread? How long is the bread? And then we kind of thought about measuring the bread, and oh, it was terrible, but still fun.
How big is the best bread?
Yeah, it was just. I think Robbo was kind of obsessed with one bread of this time, and I can't remember it, but it was really really funny. But yeah, that's to the bread because all the advertisings are done now. So
Yes.
maybe we're gonna talk the real thing today.
Let's go.
All right. So, welcome everybody. We're starting a new series called The Games of Our Lives. And I'm here with the wonderful Samu and Vivka. And you probably know me. I'm Phil Fisher. And we hope with this series to kind of sit in an open conversation, talk about the games that we love and that impact our lives. That's the impetus for this whole project. And we'd love to have guests on, to talk about the games that they love, and really hopefully inform people about the games that we love and get them to want to play those games. And kind of share our passions with the community and with everyone else. That's my idea. That's the goal.
And also that's Fish's baby, so we just a decoration here. So
No. You guys asked.
the female quote.
Yeah. No.
That's higher than the. Well, we're split.
No wait, I'm the female quote. You're the bi
Yeah.
quote. So.
Yeah.
Diversity. Sorry.
There you go. Diverse gaming podcast. We're doing the thing. So first, I do apologize for any hitches as we kind of get settled into this format and mess with all the technology. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I figured I'd start the first one, and today we're gonna talk about Psychonauts a little bit. Anyone in chat ever play Psychonauts?
No. But it's
not
on
in-
sale at the moment on Steam, I saw.
I highly
If
recommend
anyone
it.
wanted to try it out.
in case
think
in
even
case you
both-
were worried about it.
I think even both are on sale on Steam at the moment if anyone want to play it.
I did make my wife listen to the soundtrack all week.
Whoopsie.
But one thing I will say is I kind of went a little ham this week just because I love this game, and we reached out to Peter McConnell, who is the game's music composer, and he was nice enough to give us an hour interview. We sat down and talked with him for an hour, so we got a little bit of that cut in. We're going to play in the short future here, so you guys can see that. That will go up in its entirety on YouTube after this stream, so you can, I cut 30 minutes of video just for this stream because, it was an hour of interview. But hopefully you all enjoy that. It was, I think, a really fun conversation. And once again, thank you, Peter, for spending time with us. That was really gracious and very cool. If you hear this, I also put together a little slideshow about it. So I guess we should start there. Do you want to start there?
Sounds good.
Okay. Let me see if I can not break stuff here. Okay.
Also, Vivka, for me, your stream still says you're playing the Callisto Protocol.
But
Not
I
sure if this
changed it. And for me, it's changed.
Okay, then it's maybe my Twitch. I just wanted to throw that in.
I
before
just
we
clicked on again, so maybe now it's changed.
Aha! There we go. Thank you.
All right.
I
So
changed it beforehand.
until we figure out how to do this more elegantly, I'm going to go on ahead and basically share it as its own thing here. There we go. So everyone can see this. Whoops.
Yes, does it have sound? I should have.
It does have some sound.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll see.
okay.
So Psychonauts, kind of a cult classic. People seem to enjoy it, though it didn't really get a bunch of praise at the time. And I'm hoping to change that because I think it's pretty sweet. So a couple things. Viv already yelled at me for making a master's thesis here. I promise
Yes.
that's not what this is. But I did throw some slides together. So we're going to go through some history, some design, why I play, and then we'll kind of open up into discussion. So we can't really talk about Psychonauts and Double Fine without kind of talking about Tim Schafer and Lucasfilm, especially with Peter McConnell and those folks. So Tim Schafer was the director for the game, but also the I don't know, owner, chair of Double Fine itself, the company that was founded after he left LucasArts. But he made his start doing games like Monkey Island. I'm sure many of you have heard of this game or seen it or played it, but this was released by LucasArts back in the day, and it was kind of one of my earliest games. You had 16 colors, or you could play this in CGA before full VGA and some other early computer titles. But he made this game with Ron Gilbert and Dave Grossman, and this was built on the Scum engine, which is a scripting utility for Maniac Mansion. If you like these old point-and-click adventures, you kind of might know about this. He had a pretty successful run at LucasArts, developing games like Full Throttle, Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, amongst others.
Tentacle! Where is I have a blanket from Day of the Tentacle.
But yeah.
I love it.
So they actually won... Oh no, Grim won GameSpot's Game of the Year in 98. But it was the term millennium. LucasArts was hemorrhaging money. At least that's what I've heard from Peter. And they were trying to spread their wings a little bit. Lucas was changing. It wasn't the big company it was at the start. I think there may have been a George Lucas divorce in there too. Oh, you know what I should do is turn off the music. Goober. There we go. Okay. But yeah. So maybe you played some of these games, maybe you haven't. They're pretty great. And then after leaving, we go and we get Double Fine. This was started in 2000. And the first project that kind of took on was Psychonauts. It was pulled up from a shelved idea from Full Throttle. Granted, a little different backstory here, in that the character for Full Throttle was taking peyote or something like that, but this idea about going into his own mind to unlock lost knowledge, find an awakening or something along those lines. Um, it's supposed to be an Xbox release title. Ed Freeze was a big proponent of the Xbox early on and loved the game. Like he went and shared this and really kind of championed it. But then after he left, the new management came in and started gutting projects. At this time, the game had been in development for 4 years, in classic Double Fine style. So it was not done. And they were kind of frustrated with it because it was supposed to be a release title. It was supposed to come out with the Xbox, but it did not. And then like the company was about to go under. Like Tim was borrowing a ton of money, like payrolls worth of money to pay his people. And the Majesco stepped in, which is kind of like a French investment company, to save it, saving both the company and the product. So Double Fine was able to keep going, and they were able to release Psychonauts without the help of Microsoft. So let's talk about design a little bit. It's an action-adventure platformer. The engine is ground-up custom. The second one is built using Unreal 5, but the first one, this is back in the day where, the idea of licensing engines was still pretty limited. It wasn't like, you could build an engine in-house if you wanted to, and Double Fine did. And it probably helped and hindered them. We'll see. But it eventually released on PlayStation 2, PC, Mac OS X, and Linux in the later teens. It's a game about a psychic kid named Rasputin, Raz Aquato. He sneaks away from his circus-performing family to go to psychic summer camp. And he's had psychic abilities, but he's always been kind of treated negatively by his parents because of them. Well, his dad specifically. I don't think his mom was particularly. We don't learn about more of that till Psychonauts 2, but he goes to this camp and he read all these comics, and apparently this summer camp is like a feeder program for this group of psychic secret agents called the Psychonauts. Hey Tiger, welcome in.
Hi.
Hola.
And the whole concept, the high concept of the game is you're at this summer camp, and the levels are people's minds. There's kind of like an overworld of the camp, and you wander around, but the majority of the game takes place in people's minds. And they tend to have some form of mental trauma, and you can learn more about that by collecting collectibles and stuff like that. However, this did get some flack in the modern age. It tended to be a little rough. It's heavy material, right? So for the second game, they actually hired a bunch of mental health professionals because they started talking about, alcoholism and domestic violence and gambling addiction and other topics that needed to be they want to make sure they were treating it right, because they did get a little bit of pushback on this concept, right? Meant to be a fun video game, but you're going into someone's head and like, are you fixing them? Are you actually doing anything? Or are you just, it's something to consider. Character design was by a San Francisco artist named Scott Campbell. He was lead artist, and he's got a very unique art style that kind of permeates the game. It's like in render they come off almost as claymation, but you can see his fingerprints all over this. And Tim found him while visiting an art show and said, I want this art style, and that's what became Psychonauts. So we have Raz, or it looks like he initially named it D'Artagnan. I love the mixed media here. It's like paper and maybe pastels. I'm not sure. Or pencils, color pencils on this dark paper. Mia, I think Bordello is her last name. On the right here, she's kind of a mod. 60s. I don't know. She reminds me a little bit of like Sofia Vergara in a way. And then we got Boyd Cooper, who is our milkman, who happens to be the security guard at the asylum near the camp. In terms of level design, aside from the overworld, all the levels are highly stylized for the personality of the person, which I just think is so cool. This is more of Scott's concept art here. These two on the right are from Coach Oleander's brain. He's kind of the coach, pseudo military dude who's got kind of a Napoleon complex. A very short character. It looks like Danny DeVito kind of. But everyone's personality reflects their level is reflected by their personality. For example, Mia's is a disco, which I think is pretty neat. Coaches, it's basic braining. It's kind of your tutorial level, and that is like a war zone. And then we have our soundtrack, who is composed by legendary LucasArts and industry veteran Peter McConnell. And it's inspired from Roma music to represent Raz and his upbringing. So, like I said, we got to sit down with him and chat with him a little bit. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Let me try this because thank you. This is a fun template I found for the slides. So I have the video. It's queued up to be streamed in OBS. So I can stream it direct, but maybe it's better if I wonder if I can just share it. Let me see. Go back to the heads real quick.
Are you muted?
Yes.
Am I muted?
I like this. No,
Yeah,
I was
okay.
muted.
Uh,
I just wanted to say it's also a bit of a first time, so there are still some issues we're gonna solve out. So
yes.
it's all fine.
And hi, Vinda, and thanks for the lurk again. And hi, Makis.
I mean, mostly Phil is talking at the moment, so. But we're looking great.
We do.
I also, as you showed the slide, I just do this. I mean, you trying to get this there, and I mean, I can maybe say something in between. As you showed the kind of sketches, I was that remembers me of a game I wanted to play lately, and there is a
Which one?
new game out them from the studio. It's called Keeper.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I
excited
was
for Keeper.
instantly remembered on this game as you showed the sketches, and I did not know until a minute ago or something that this is the same studio. But the sketches were so bang in my head. I was so wait, that's this one game I had in my mind to maybe play in the future because I not got a key. And I was so, oh, nice. I like this when you also see similarities between different games and just instantly know what studio or what artist this is about. That's cool.
It's like you just recognize it instantly, and that's pretty good for the studio, I think.
Yeah,
Like
mostly.
yeah,
Depending on the style, but when you like it, it's good for them.
Well, they definitely
Yeah,
have
but
their own, yeah. They've always had like a little bit of an outsider art style in a way that I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not look like all the other games that look all the same, you know? So that's kind of cool. And I like those style. I mean, I watched the Let's Play of Keeper, so I not played it by now. And I also forgot most of it already again. Because I was doing some stuff in between, so it was more the background. But I was always kind of drawn to my TV because I thought that looking so cool. I like those style. That is a bit, I don't know, edgy and just so special that you want to have a look at it and thinking, oh, that's cool. I like this. That's different from all the same kind of plastic, smooth pictures most of the studios have today because it looks all the same, and I think that's boring. So I kind of like those special stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
You can do it. I believe in you, Phil. Okay, now the big question is if we all have sound. I can see it, or I have a black screen, but at least I see something.
Oh, it's not playing. Give me a sec here. That was weird.
No. So yeah, that's also the first time for us. So we're working on it, and you all test this with us together now. We all in this together. Or so I don't know. I can't. We all know I'm not very good at doing song texts, so that's what you get.
Why did it not do this now?
Because it wants to annoy us today.
Yes, that's why.
It would be too easy when everything would be smooth, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Professional streamer. Nope, not see it.
I love this command.
It's a good one.
Yes. Absolutely. And I will never delete it because it's way too good.
All right, let's see if we can get this to play here. And get it shared out to you guys. You got this?
I see something, yes.
Yeah, it just appeared where the other video was.
Question is just if we hear anything.
Got any other questions?
No.
Yeah. Oh, come on, guys. You must have
Because
some
so
kind of-
far I think I don't have
I have
sound.
another one. Like when you get
Um,
the job and you have the characters, do they
Let's see if we can. Do I have to share? I think I have to share it this way. All right, share with sound. Okay.
Makes sense, yeah.
Gonna do the lip reading now. Oh,
Are you getting double?
yes.
Okay. That was my fear.
But then Samu and me just not talking.
Yeah, we can mute for the whole thing. Sorry, guys. Got any other questions?
No.
Yeah. Oh, come on, guys. You must have some kind of.
I have another one. Like when you get the job and you have the characters, do they also give you an information what kind of instruments they want to have in there? Or
That
is it
varies.
just your thing?
That's a great question. That varies completely with the project. Like sometimes I will get, sometimes I'll get a sort of a what you might call sort of breakdown notes about the story and the characters and what I'm scoring and sort of background or whatever and art and then like often literally
All right. I don't know why it decided not to work.
Well, then everyone just they all have to watch the YouTube
My-
The
video.
YouTube video.
If it doesn't work.
Well, I think I can do it on. Let me see if I can get it on my stream.
Yeah.
And that way we can
Got
talk.
any other questions?
No.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, come on,
Very
guys! You
true.
must have some kind of.
I have another one. Like when you
We just
get the job
yeah,
and
we
you have
just
the
try to be
characters,
silent so
do
we
they
don't have the
also
double
give
in there.
you
We'll figure this
information
stuff
what
out,
kind of
guys. I
instruments they
apologize.
want to have in there?
Don't worry about this.
Or
That
is it
varies.
just your
Fine.
thing?
That's a great question. That varies completely with the.
Should do a dance or two
with the
while Phil
project.
figure it
Like
all out. 3,
sometimes I
2,
will
1,
get.
go.
Sometimes I get a sort of a
No one wants
what you might
this.
call
No one
sort of
wants to see
breakdown
me
notes
dancing.
about the story and the
I
characters.
mean, maybe
and,
you
and
want
what
to
I'm
see me
scoring,
dancing, but I'm not
and,
sure about it though.
Sort of background or whatever, and art.
I would
and
thought I
then-
can show you a
and
cat,
then,
but Baloo is
like often,
deep asleep, and I'm not sure where Misker
literally
is.
a link to.
Wait a minute.
So
Here's some things that we think would you should listen to, or we want something like
The heck
it,
was
and
with
it
my
can be
phone?
as much.
Not
it can be
rather
as detailed.
thinking.
as,
I'm sorry.
we want
Patty is
something
sorry,
like
Phil,
this,
by the
right?
way.
Or
Hi, Betty.
Patty's not allowed to be sorry.
just
It's,
listen to this, and this
that's
is
my job is
This
to be
is the
sorry
type
for
of
everything.
thing that we've done for this character.
Oh yeah.
before,
Nah.
right?
Oh
So you
yeah.
might want to sort of tap
You're
into
the
that.
master of the story.
And now
Yep.
with Tim,
I want to see
it's-
just not being too close, I
with
guess.
Tim
I mean,
Schafer,
honestly,
it's much more.
that's what I experience
he
on
kinda
concert
leads by
maybe.
example.
When girls especially,
so
also
he's,
guys sometimes
I wouldn't
have
say he's hands-off
ponytails
because
and they're jumping
he's a great
and dancing,
leader,
and you just have
of
the
his
whole
teams,
ponytail in
and
your
they're always
face
looking to him for sort of
all the
guidance.
time.
At the same
It's
time,
so annoying.
it's very much
Wait, there we
sort of
go.
let a
Does that
thousand
work?
flowers bloom type of situation.
I don't
where,
have sound,
where,
I think, unfortunately.
so
I think
the
we
type
don't
of
have
thing
in
I would
the
get
stream
from him
together,
literally
but I think the
for
chat
Grimm
has sound.
and for Psychonauts.
Well, I think
Or
I
Phil.
got a
Well, I can
listening
see it
list
on
at
my
the-
side.
at the beginning of the project. For Grimm, it was one record.
Chat of mine, do you
of
hear the
traditional
video
Mexican
that's
music
showing?
called son, which
Oh, yeah.
Mine
which made
can't.
its way into some
I
of the
don't
more
For
know
us,
why
you
classic music in
can't
the
not
game.
got in, Marcus, so that
And
here we go,
probably
here
the
we
a
go.
jazz I already kind of had down. And then for Psychonauts, it was that
microphone.
one CD of Roma music, of music, Romanian folk music.
Virtual device. I can't
and,
use the OBS camera.
And just like listen to this, think about it. Oh yeah, actually, for
I
him, it
hate
was
being
also
in the
those-
first row, Mika. I'm
the,
just not. I'm
the
too.
movie scores that I kept for so long.
No.
And
I was at
but,
the concert and I
you know,
realized why everyone was in the
during
first
the-
row because I was standing
during
and
the
I was
course of actually
exhausted
writing
and they were
that
able to
music
just
for
lean
for
on
Psychonauts
Yes,
and
that
Grimm
true.
thing and I was like, that's
pretty
why
much
they want
anything
to
I've done
stay
for
in
Tim
first
since
row.
then.
Now I
But I had
Um,
this. I had this on the last
it'll be like-
concert because we had like a kind of
I think I've
balcony
gotten, like,
thingy, and I
3
just did
words of-
this. I could
of,
kind of watch over the
feedback
others.
from him about actual
So that was
music
so
and all
nice.
these years. Just like
But my
that
phone is not good
that,
enough for zooming.
yeah,
I
that's
also
the-
Chad, do you hear
that's
the
what I had
video?
in mind. They might have said once it's the wrong mood or something. Doesn't quite fit. I honestly cannot
Because I don't.
remember almost any criticism. It's
Uh,
more like he gives
no.
me the place to. He gives me.
Yeah, but
the,
you are in Fish's
you know, the
stream. It's more
influences,
about
and then
Samus
I
and
just
my streams
go
if
with
they
it.
hear this.
Yeah,
Because
get
I
the
think in
audio
Phil's
I will get feedback from
in
the
Phil's
team.
stream
They
is
might
it
say,
the
well,
original source, and for us it's not
we
the
think this
original
character's a
source.
little more this way or that way. And like for example in Psychonauts
I mean, what was
2,
the
the
problem with the first
game
time? It
show
was
music,
just not.
right?
We had
that was
sound, but it was
originally-
just
that
not
was
playing,
originally
right?
supposed to be a
Or moving.
a parody
I
of
think
Julia
we saw
Child.
that,
Do you know
for
who Julia
me-
Child is?
Thanks for the
Yeah,
follow.
she
French
was a-
chef.
This French
Okay.
chef, she
For
had
me,
a delightful sort of
the chat
way
didn't
of
have sound
speaking,
because it
and
doesn't-
she's very sort
didn't
of
go over.
stodgy and,
Oh, for me it was.
today
I had
we're
the
going
screen
have
cam. You need to
roast
control with
turkey, right?
OBS.
And
Yeah.
and
When you
and
have the
first
screen thingy we had
music,
before,
which was for
under Phil's
for
thingy, that was
um,
working. That
you know,
had
what
sound.
turned out to be Ram It
No,
Down, which is
For me not,
pretty
but I have
upsetting
the
subject.
audio
But anyway,
via OBS. I have it.
Okay, but normally you
that
should
was
have
supposed
for
to be
the
French chef, and it's a super
last one we
ironic.
had, you should have sound,
And,
but not for
we ended
this
up
now.
using
I
that
don't have
music
sound.
for the
I
Muzak
didn't have it
that
either.
plays in like the secretary's office somewhere in the.
Oh, because you guys
So-
kind of went with like a Price is Right. Sort
Oh,
of.
Sabaton in 2
Exactly,
weeks.
no,
Nice.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, that was
The
total
same
Price is
irony.
Right.
Are you
That-
also
that
for
was
the
a
Super
Price is
Crossword
Right,
Championship then there?
you know,
You just can check out the whole
Really
the
parody.
arena
And,
already.
and my buddy with my buddy.
Yeah, guys, I don't know. That's
So yeah, for me, the first thing you had was working with sound, but when it's not working for Samu, I don't know.
but then we have to mute
for-
ourselves. We can probably try it again if you guys want to.
I mean, yes. I mean, I can stop talking for as long as this is playing, but I have sound for this one, so.
All right, let me
Do you have more than 2 kids, Makis, or is this now shared with the whole family? We just should call it episode 0 instead of 1.
Yeah, there you go. The first
Just the testing.
swing at it, yeah.
Only 2 that I know of.
Well,
You should laugh about it, but you know.
right.
I would choose Supercross if I needed to choose one to go with. Not that Sabaton is bad, but I would go with Supercross. Also, thanks for the follow. Thank you for that follow. Ah.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna mute our conversation. You guys can still talk, but I'm gonna mute. I won't be able to hear you because that's what it's. Yeah, that's what's causing the issue.
How many dogs do I have, Makis? Okay. The magic number. Do we have anything already?
Not yet. I'm muting now.
Oh, okay.
Come on, do the thing. Do the thing. Uh. All right.
but it's not even playing.
Yeah, it froze. It straight up froze. All right. Well, we'll put that out there. Sorry, everybody.
We're gonna share the YouTube link then, so you absolutely can watch the.
Apparently the dog was not happy. So
Thank you, Patty. Thanks for the gifted subs.
Boop.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Train time.
Yeah, it's also shared, so doesn't matter what stream you gift subs now, it will be a shared hype train. It will
that's
all
cool.
count. That's kind of cool. So yeah, thanks for the 5 gifted sub. Can you please? I know my blood sugar is slightly high. Can you please just stop telling me? Sorry.
No. All right, so we'll go back to here. I don't know what else to do about it.
Doesn't
Sorry,
matter. As I said, we probably just call it episode 0, and we just kind of figure stuff out, and maybe we'll also come back to this.
Yeah.
So you can all tell us all about it maybe again at one point. So we're gonna see. We're working on it. It's all good.
Yep.
Just vibe with us, chat. Just vibe with us. It's fun.
Yep. So
And pet full later.
Yeah, I'll at least all that work and it didn't go. It's okay.
It happens. That's fine.
It's a thing.
Also, in your stream, I can see the Canva. Just so you know.
I had to switch sources for a second. Too many Canva tabs open. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're back. So Peter McConnell put this together. We do have a great interview. Sadly, we can't seem to get that thing working today, but that's all right. So why do I play this game? I think it's just a great platformer. It's got a lot of, like, the levels are all sized appropriately, and they all seem to just be good. Like, you're not overstretching mechanic. You're not. I found this with Breath of the Wild. Not that Breath of the Wild's really a platformer, but or Tears of the Kingdom. Sometimes it's just too big. You're just like, where the hell am I? And that's kind of what I'm saying by no loss of bearing. Like, everything is manageable, even as a younger player. The art style is just so cool. It's definitely a Double Fine thing. And I love it. And then the soundtrack is just great. So, for example, here's a little bit of a level called the Milkman Conspiracy.
They're watching all the time.
Hey. Now, how am I gonna find some creepy graveyard in this nice, normal neighborhood?
So this is like the suburban panic of our boy Boyd Cooper, where he sees G-men everywhere, and it turns his whole world upside down. He's twisting logic and connections to fit his paranoia. Are you guys getting the audio in this?
Yes.
I
For
do,
me.
but my chat doesn't, but that's fine.
Your
But
chat?
When
Oh.
you, for me, it's when I mute Discord and use desktop audio, they hear it.
Ah, shoot. Okay. Well, all right. Not super important. Some lessons learned here today.
No, my should have heard, or my chat should hear this at the moment.
So I just think this is a really cool way to start your game. You know, the title is on a brain, and then the main character, the protagonist, arrives over the top of it, and then you realize, to pick your menu, you're going to be moving around it, which I think is just such a cool. I don't know. It's just like, oh, okay. From this moment, I knew this game was going to be a little different. And this is just one of those things I think kind of sells it. And if you could hear this, this is a track for this area called Black Velvetopia. The soundtrack is on Spotify for both the first and the second game. If you're not going to play it, I recommend go checking it out. Because they're just so broad. Like everything from 12 tone to Roma music to this like flamenco sound for this level. It's awesome. Everything's great and very dynamic. And one of the things, I don't know, I didn't really give it to you guys, but the main theme is like, and at the, if you, hopefully my chat can hear this, but he teases it at the end of this. Which is just so cool. Like it's, during the interview we talked a lot about leitmotif and like what themes represent people and how that works. But yeah, there's definitely a reference there. It probably is a little quiet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. At least for the slideshow. Sorry the video didn't quite cut out. That didn't work, but you can't win them all. But those are the slides I had. I think now we open it up to discussion. What do you guys think? Is this something you'd be interested in playing? Okay.
I don't think. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't think, for me, not really, but different reasons. I do think, especially old games, have, for me, the problem that when I haven't played them as I was younger, they not really have the appeal for me that I want to play them. Because different reason, like the graphics, and old games always looking a bit old. Sorry, I'm not sure how to put it, but like I don't know. I do think when you have some nostalgic feeling behind it, you still can play a lot of games today. Still, there who are kind of old, but especially PS1, PS2 games and this area have for me a kind of difficult approach because I always feel maybe I'm biased, maybe that's my brain, but I have often a problem playing games that style I don't like, and the older style is not what I'm looking forward to when I play games today, when you know what I mean. It's weird. I mean, I also don't read manga when I don't like the style, even the story is interesting. So that's maybe as an explanation that I just don't do it with games. But when games are kind of looking very, very old, I have the feeling that's not really my thing. And also we all know I'm not really good in platformers, so that's not my genre I kind of like to play. So that's just too many things.
I think that's fair.
Putting on the first line of my I want to play it. But when we kind of make the circle to what I said before with Keeper, the new game, it's kind of not the same, but it's kind of have some similarities and just shown what those games can look like nowadays.
Baldy.
And that I absolutely would play. So you know what I mean? So for me, it's more the age behind the game and how it looks because of the age that I'm not really interested in playing it.
You're
But
saying
that's
if they did a remastered version that looks like games nowadays, you would consider it maybe to play.
maybe yes. I mean, as I said, I'm not really the platform player, right? So maybe that would be another down for me. But I would probably being more interested in playing it. So it's definitely a me thing, but yeah, I mean that's why we're all so different, right? And liking different games and stuff. So like, yeah, maybe the new game I would absolutely play. So maybe I also would play a remastered or remake. I'm not sure what of this stuff. So yeah, there was a
Remastered
long
is like
there was a
sorry.
long monologue for saying maybe not. Sorry, I
I,
apologize.
I think remastered is if they just have the same game and just make it look
Yeah, true.
prettier,
And remake
kind of.
is a bit more, yeah, true.
Well, I will
That's
say
logical.
the second one was released in I want to say 22, so a couple of years ago, and it's an Unreal 5. So it definitely is modern, but it still retains that art style. Um, but all those other conceits are there, right? It's a platformer. It's you might not have the nostalgia for it. Uh, you know, I
I mean, Psychonauts 2 looks way more polished, like more games from nowadays. It was also released 2021, so
okay, so 21.
close.
It's new.
But yeah, I do think it's just not really the kind of game I play a lot. I mean, I would maybe give it a try though. It could be fun. So
Yeah,
yeah, maybe. Also, guys, both are on sale if you want to get it.
Yeah, I posted for Psychonauts one the Steam link.
Is this
Check
game
it.
relevant to you? Yeah, similar to games you have
Maybe.
played. Alice Madness Returns. Okay.
For me, I think it looks like something I have played like ages ago, obviously, but I can't fully remember that I've ever played it. And I asked my brother about it, and he was like, "No, not that I know of." And but it looks so similar to something I liked as a kid, and as my brother has it, I will definitely try it out. I'm not sure how. I'm a bit similar to Vivka with if a game is looking really old and I don't have a emotional connection to it, I'm like, oh wow, that looks really old. And I just this year started to get away a bit from that because there were old games I wanted to play. So it's like I want to play that game, but it looks old. Okay, maybe later and later and later, and it just turned out later, and I was like, okay, this year I will try it out. So yeah, I would try it out.
I I will say it. There are things that it's an older platformer. It's 2 generations ago platformer, right? So
Oh,
it feels like it. It controls like it. That's the one
yeah,
thing I griped about is like camera control. Like you run into those issues where you're too close to a wall, and all of a sudden the camera's real low and scrunched up, and you can't see what the hell you're doing. You're getting attacked, and you're like, this is a nightmare. There are also just limitations like I don't say draw distance because there wasn't like huge stuff, but it has age, right? It's definitely an older
yeah,
platform, and it feels that way. Um, though I would say for me, the reason I go back is definitely there's nostalgia there, but also the the concept is so neat. Like I don't know, take any other platformer, right? What would have been contemporaneous? Maybe like a Rayman, right? One of the early Rayman games, or this would have been shortly after something like Croc, or I don't know. I don't want to say Crash Bandicoot. I mean, it would have been contemporary of a Crash Bandicoot, but they're kind of different play styles.
Mm.
And you just kind of have worlds that are themed around the world, right? You have a swamp level, you have a water level, a sky level, a sand level. I don't know, pretty traditional stuff. In this one of my favorite levels is you. There's like a mutant lungfish that lives in the bottom of the lake. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but when you go into his mind, you are a monster, like a kaiju, like Godzilla, and the whole model, your character is slowed down and giant compared to these little tiny people that you can run around and crush, and you can pick up tanks and throw them. And it's such a neat departure from being at summer camp to now you're a kaiju to now you're in a dance party, or you're in weird twisted suburbia from that clip we saw earlier with the weird streets going every which way. That I think is like the coolest thing, is there's level design there that just beyond anything I've ever seen since. But it has age, that I will say. It is not a young game, like Fisher himself. Old fart game, old fart Fisher.
Yeah, like few months back, I put on the PlayStation 2 again, and I was like, "Oh, let's play Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3," and I was like, "Oh my god,
I played Tekken
how?"
4 on the PS2 to try it out, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, I remember sitting in my teen room and was absolutely blown away. Right? I just played this and I loved it. I
Yeah,
never thought this
same.
graphics are bad, and I just put it
Yeah.
on yesterday. I was so, well,
The
maybe.
thing is, if that is the best you have, obviously it's the best you have. And back then, PS2 graphics was amazing. And
Yeah.
if you now see PS4 graphics or Steam or PS5 and you're like blown away of how fast, how much the graphics change because it's like so pixely now when
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
a
look at
great
those two
example.
games.
Even Gran Turismo
And
1 and 2. I remember being like, that's a great game, Baldy. You know?
Yeah.
And now it's
Also,
awful
Baldi,
to look at.
thanks for gifting a sub to the Three Goats. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I just got it. I'm such an idiot.
But yeah, I also think we have so many fantasy in our heads about old games, and we just kind of, I'm not sure what the English word is, but we kind of um
what's the German one?
fantasize them better, verklären.
What the fuck
Um,
is that word? We
we
put them
kind
on
of
a potash?
we kind of fantasize them better than they were, because in our head that was the peak gaming back then. You know, we had games we thought that's the peak of quality and graphic design we get. I mean, it was to this time. And I
Yeah.
also do think we kind of romanticize those games we played in our youth, because they were just our words. I mean, that was what was the biggest thing back then, and what we played with or played through it. And when we have this verquer, this other picture in our head, and then we actually play this game or start the game, or I mean, I like now have the PS2 and stuff, and you just put them on and think, that's not how it looks in my head. So it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
I think we somehow adapt the back then graphics to the graphics we know now. That's what we
Yes.
have in our heads, and then we're like punched in the face by reality that indeed
Yes.
it's not the same and it's everything moved forward.
And Chad, we're gonna do this because I have this PS2. We're gonna play PS1 and PS2 games, and we will be blown together away how bad those games look nowadays. But we're gonna do this. I have, for example, I have Final Fantasy X to play with you, and I
Oh my god.
know that I was back then. I was, wow, the game looks amazing.
Never
We're
played
gonna
that.
start this game, and we're gonna play this on stream, and we're gonna think all together that looks bad. but,
We suffer
but
together, you mean?
yeah. But I also do think that it's just
Yeah,
It's
true.
just the kind of normal way how it went. So we have so much emotional connection to those games, and they mean everything to us. And I also do think this will not change. I mean, even we saw that those game obviously looking kind of bad nowadays because of the big jump we did in graphic design and stuff. But I do think still that those emotional stuff and connection we have with those game are still bigger than to
Yeah.
start seeing all the flaws. So we're just thinking the first moment is, so yeah, this game looks bad, whatever. But then you could just start playing and you just have all the old feelings coming, the memories you have, the connection you have with maybe better times or maybe hiding from worse times or whatever. I think they're kind of bigger. So when you start playing them, you think, oh shit, that looks bad. But then you just continue in the game and just come to corners where you think, oh yeah, when I played this back then, that was this and this happening. And you just have all those emotions you kind of think they were not in your head anymore because where should they all go, right? So, but they're still there. And I do think this is bigger than the bad graphic. But this is the problem why I probably not play Psychonauts, especially not the old version, because I don't have those feelings for this game because I never played it. So it's just nothing in my head I could connect with it. So I'm just seeing it, it's looking bad, and this probably stays in my head as a main thing because I cannot overthrow it with memories and emotional feelings that are bigger than my thinking that that looks old and not as good as it could, you know? So I do think that that is a big important thing to just or see that there are different things from different games, especially those old games. So yeah.
Agreed. And what Tiger said that back then you played in couch co-op a lot more and you had a four people split screen. You didn't even notice because the
We're
split
so
screen
small.
it was tiny.
Yes, very true. Those big TVs. Oh my god.
TVs were small. Split screen made everything even smaller. You didn't even notice.
Yeah, true. Just so different times, right? So full. What do you have to say?
You know, there are all right. So I go back and I play games that I think are great, over and over again throughout my life. Like every so often, I'll go back and I'll play like Psychonauts is one. Um, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is another one. That one really I loved and I thought was a great game, even though it is still just a side scroller pixel game, you know. But it still holds up for me, and I will put another like 50 hours into it every time I go back and play it. And like Super Mario 64, and I think the thing with that is yeah, for me, I know they look like shit. Like that's never really been a make or break for me. I not in a bad way. I view it as a product in time, right? It was the 64. It only had, you know, not a whole lot of processing power. You know, you used to have to throw more RAM at the thing, uh, in the form of hardware add-ons. But I will still play that game as it is because it's that experience is so good, and you just accept that warts and all. You know, it's just part of the nightmare of it, right? It's something that makes it, you know, dented and dinged up, that I enjoy. But uh, I also tend to love everything from this studio. I will say. So anything Keeper is a perfect example of this. You know, I'll be getting Keeper at some point. They had they made a game not too long ago. Not too long ago. God, I was in college. Maybe 15 years ago, called Brutal Legend.
Yesterday.
Yeah, so it's not too long ago, 15 years ago. Uh, you know, that had Jack Black in it, and he was like a metal roadie, and it had like it was a fun hack and slash that turned into like an RPS, or uh, RTS, not RPS, the real time strategy game. Stylized like metal music, you know, big chrome skulls and eight balls, and it's everything the studio puts out has like a nicely wrapped package in it. The music, the style, it's all cohesive. But the nostalgia thing I think is important, because it was hot at the time, right? In that uh-oh.
Amo? What happened?
Wait a second. I try again. I'm not sure what that was.
But also, I just had a look at Brutal Legend, and that is a style kind of. It remembers me a bit of Alice Madness Returns.
Yep.
That could still work today because it's kind of smooth. It looks, or that's from 2013. So, but it still looks like something that could still work today because it's. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of not ageless, but it's close to it still works today. Not sure how the played game will be, but just from the screenshots, it could still work.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would go back and play it. And actually, doing a lot of research for this, they actually had Lemmy from Motorhead come and do voice recordings. So I think Ozzy was in it too. Like,
Yeah, Ozzy is one of the screenshots on Steam.
yeah,
Actually,
they had real voice actors and real musicians come in for this game. Like they always do this, and I think it's just a really neat concept. But
absolutely.
one of the things I think I think it was the first thing I asked Peter was I grew up in an era where I went from no music, right, in your computer. There was no sound. You had a PC speaker. You had the thing that went beep when you turned it on. And if the developer took the time, you might get some like buzzy noise out of your computer. You guys know what I'm talking about? You ever play a game with PC speaker where it just kind of beep at you?
Yes.
Okay. Sam was like, no. They're too young. But
It's just a year.
I didn't really hear which game you said.
no, just any game that had only the PC speaker. Not it was like a case speaker. Showing our age, dude. Yes. But we went from that PC speaker to what we would call Sound Blaster or AdLib. Remember the Sound Blaster cards you could put in your computer and actually get sound. You get music out of your computer. Before that, it was just a little beepy speaker, and maybe they made it go beep, beep. Think of like Pong or something. That level of sophistication. And that was still just synthesis. It wasn't real audio. We weren't playing back an audio file. It was synthesizing the sound via the chips on the board. And then, like Peter said, the thing that they were working on that finally had that happen, that made that transition, was Grim Fandango. Was the first one where you could actually put live music on the disc. And there's a lot of that. Like, it wasn't until PlayStation and the like post 386 era where you could the sound of the cars made in Mike Rose formula. Yep, it's still burning. Like, literally, the PC speaker was actually burning these sounds into my brain. Exactly. They were brutal. They were ear piercing sometimes.
I started. My dad had a PS1, so I kind of started. The first console I ever had in my hand was the Sega handheld one. I forgot how it was called.
The Game Gear.
Game Gear. That was the ever first console I had in my hands. It was not mine. It was my parents' one or my dad one's. But that was the very first console in my hand, and I just slightly remember sound of this. And also the PS1 was alright with sound, and then I had the first console I had owned was a Game Boy Color, I think. It was the second one. And
yes,
I
Baldy,
never
that's
turned
the
on
one.
the music. I never turned on the music. Never. So that was my start into gaming. I just not have the music on. So I remember there was one Pokemon game where you had a quiz and you needed to recognize sounds and do the answer in it. And I was so, I never played this with sound. I have
Oh,
no
no.
clue. Honestly, I was sitting there, so I have no clue. I don't play those games with sound. What? So, that was really crazy. I also don't remember of the Game Gear used so much battery because it was not mine. I remember I played Lion King on it. That was the first ever game I played, and I sucked at it, and I was really, really afraid of the hyena. I have no clue how to pronounce them in English.
Yeah.
At the end of the first level. So I just did the first level, then I ran crying to my dad, please do this, do them, because I was scared about them. And then the next one was, I think, this level with the giraffes and the bird thingies where you need to jump over it. I never
Oh,
got through
yeah.
this level. I never got through this level as a kid, so
It's
I
still
was
a
stuck
pain.
there.
Yeah,
I
it's
can tell
still
as an
notoriously
adult.
hard.
I also remember that's a core memory for me. So my dad, you couldn't save on the Game Gear, so you
Yep.
needed to play the whole game in one run. So otherwise, you
Maybe
couldn't
you got
save.
a code, but you had to write it down.
Also, when you were game over, you needed to start from the very beginning. There were
Yep.
no stuff like you start from level 3 or 5 or something. You started from the very beginning. And the core memory I remember is my dad actually beat the game, and they woke me up in the middle of the night. I'm not even. I think I wasn't even in school yet. No, we were still living in Berlin, so I wasn't even in school yet. They woke me up in the middle of the night to show me the end screen of the game
As they
because it
should.
was a scene from the movie, something like Zipper and Nala and
Ah.
stuff. And they really woke me up and said, look. That's a core memory burned in my head, okay? It was crazy. But that was my first really remembering about playing games. Also to PS1, we had a Formula One game, I think the first or the second one. And I was so shit, right? My dad was always waiting for me at the finish line so I could still do the laps and stuff. Oh my god. When he would know what I do nowadays, it's just crazy. But yeah.
We didn't even get, I mean, we as gamers.
Commodore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a whole different thing. The concept of the home computer. Ours was a. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this. Give me one sec.
Burn, Chad, burn!
Don't do it.
Okay.
So this was my first computer.
Hi,
So-
first computer of Phil.
Texas Instruments 99. It would have been
Texas Instruments.
this
Woo!
would have been about the time of Baldy's Commodore Amiga. But this is it. This is what you got. There was no, there's no audio out here. It beeped and blooped at you.
I think I know now
We
why
got
I didn't know
Munchman in
what
there.
you were talking about, because I'm from a gaming console family. I got a computer when I was in 6th grade, when I had to have one for school because they said if you don't get a computer, you'll be lost. Basically, because my brother was close to being further in school to have presentations and such, and they said you have to have a computer because otherwise you have it hard to finish school. And that was 2003 something. So that's when we got our first used computer.
When
where
you
you
had
had
the
all
choice being on the internet or using the landline, so
Nah, I got internet when I was 14.
I made that maybe not.
So that was, when was I 14? 2007 something? Like, I got that really late because my dad was focusing on consoles. So the first console I ever had was a Sega something Mega Drive. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I used to play at my brother's friends, and my dad had NES, Super Nintendo. Like, he just popped everything on top. He just had to have most of the consoles, and I aged with Nintendo and PlayStation.
Me too.
So that's my
Or not Nintendo, but Game Boy. That was also Nintendo. So
yeah, that's also Nintendo.
yeah, I just remembered.
One of my oldest memories for gaming is my dad playing the first Zelda game he's the one playing on the NES, and my mom had the book open and told him where he had to go. And we just sat next to them and watched them. And one game called Kikle Kubikle. You're a small dude and you have to swoosh ice over a map kind of thing and solve riddles. I loved it. And we just
Okay.
solved that as a family together. Just
Oh,
sat
that's
there and
cool.
did the riddles. That was quite nice.
That
That's
sounds
cool. We
fun.
never played really together.
Yeah.
Yeah, my folks didn't like gaming was kind of a second thought. Like my parents had an Atari 2600, so like a late Atari, not the wood grain one, but the late 80s one. And so we had some cartridges, but I had to buy my Super Nintendo like when I was in high school, essentially. Because my parents were like, "We're not buying you consoles. You have a computer, use that." And running games from DOS for many years. So like I came to consoles way later than everyone else. I had friends that had them and I would go play with them, but I didn't get my first console till I bought like a Super Nintendo, and I bought a PlayStation 1 later on, working at a hardware store and delivering papers and that sort of stuff. But I wish I'd seen more. But even then, like, not to bring it back to the music piece, but I'm going to. We didn't even get real live audio until like the early thousands, because even your PlayStation, very rarely, sometimes the disc would have actual CD tracks on them. If you played them in your CD player, you get real music out of them, but not all the time. A lot of games didn't even have real audio; they were still synthesizing it off the disc, which I think is wild to me. Because if they're saying Grim Fandango was the first one in '98 and then Psychonauts was 2005, that was only 7 years after like that studio's first game with real recorded music. As in, I'm going to record some dude playing guitar and put it on there, a full orchestra. I don't know, we just wild to see how far we've come. To not being able to save your game, to your game taking up 200 gigs on your hard drive, right? I'm looking at you, iRacing. I'm looking at you.
But that's also just so crazy because we all thought in the early 2000s or whatever, that's the peak of everything. And now, for me, sometimes it's so mind blowing how fast we went through all those stages. And also, I do think sometimes it was way too quick to really work through this in our minds,
Yep.
especially kind of starting with the really not the earliest consoles and PCs and stuff, but kind of with the basic stuff and how quick we came. I mean, when we still had oh, what's this in English now again? Oh, my brain is just went out. What we had before USB sticks, what was it called? The save icon.
Oh, floppy disks.
Diskette.
Floppy disk. Thank you. I knew it, but I
The
couldn't get it.
save icon.
So,
But you understood
did you
it.
don't
Just-
know? Did
just-
you not know?
You and
don't know
Mika
the
can take
meme?
me and Baldy out back and shoot us now. We're too old.
Do you not know the meme? There is a meme out there on social media where they asked you why you printed the save icon in 3D. That's why I got
Oh,
this.
okay.
Like, no. So that's a real meme. People or kids from today doesn't know what a floppy disk is.
The funniest part about that, I worked in property management, and up until 2015 or 14, round about that, I went with a floppy disk with all the payments we had to do. We put them onto the floppy disk, and I went to the bank and I was like, "Here, our floppy disk, please do our payments." 2014.
Yes, and nowadays PC don't even have a CD thingy thing anymore.
Yeah, I put 2 DVD burners in mine at one point because I was like, "Oh, this will be the media of the future." No, I haven't opened those drives in 5 years because I don't even install anything from disk anymore. No one will even sell you a
No.
disc. You buy
It's
the
just so
DVD
crazy.
case and there's a code inside.
Yes, but it's just so crazy how quick we came from like floppy disks with not really safe space to nowadays. It's just that blows my
More
mind.
terabytes. For
It's just
survey
I
to
can't
Channel
I
10.
can't go through this in my head because it's just so crazy, you know? It's like I don't know. Time thingy. Time
Yeah, we
flies.
developed so fast.
It's just and then you just show stuff. I mean, they are Discmans and Walkman. They are in a museum by now, you know? What's next? iPod.
Well, yeah. Even that's dead. It's all on your phone now. No one even. I can't tell you. I don't put MP3s on my phone anymore. I just use
I
Spotify. I just use Spotify or YouTube. You do?
But we
I
shouldn't
have an
use
MP3
Spotify
player.
anymore.
Yep.
Sorry.
Need Spotify.
We shouldn't, yeah.
But
But yeah, that's so crazy. I
I
can't comprehend this. It's
yeah, me neither. But I did go back to starting to use a MP3 player again for traveling or when I don't want to be on my phone because being on my phone is a problem also a lot of the time because we do everything with those things and sometimes it's pretty annoying.
But sometimes there are also tasks for my phone and
Yeah.
tasks for my PC. It's like ordering expensive stuff or booking something.
Yep.
That's mostly work for my or tasks for my PC. I don't do this
It's
from
big,
my phone.
big screen tasks.
Or writing important mails. It needs to be from the PC
100%.
Same.
Yep.
until I running out of time, and then I sometimes do it on my phone. But normally it's a PC task. I not do this on my phone.
But even
We've all
that's
been there.
changing. People are the desktop computer, the home computer is going away. Even laptop sales, I think, are down for
Just
things
when
like
you're really
tablets.
when you're being a gamer, then you have the best PC you can have. But a
Yes,
normal work PC
Like
is not. Most people don't have it anymore.
or the
When you
office.
don't need
That's the
it,
other place.
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's just crazy.
when I started my training for my job in 2011, the I was one of the oldest people. I was like 19, 20, but most of them were 16 roundabout or 17, and they didn't know like they had all smartphones, but they didn't know how to turn a computer on that we had to use to do our computer work with. And I was like, are you calling me old? Because I had to explain to them how to turn on the computer because they didn't have a computer. They just had their phone. Some had a laptop, but not a normal computer anymore.
Crazy. I
That
feel
was
so old sometimes.
yeah.
Not as bad as Mackey's got it. He's saying he maintains punch card PCs.
Yeah, crazy.
There's still a lot of that old tech out there in industry and in business. Like I'm not gonna say what I did, but I recently converted a mainframe application to like Power BI, essentially. So COBOL to Power BI. We're talking about almost 50-year-old language at this point, and that was a critical system. It was a very critical system, and it's
Never change
wild
a
to
running
think.
system though.
Well, you had to. It's you know,
In Germany, they still used fax for important stuff. So, um,
I mean, it's just no one makes the parts anymore. To maintain a mainframe is a nightmare. Like we virtualized it, but even then, at what point do you go? Well, all right, I gotta modernize this somewhere. But I wouldn't have waited 50 years to do it. I would have done it 30 years ago or something. I wouldn't have waited until we're dealing with software from the 70s. But
it's just so crazy. And also, what I just remembered as I saw my face cam, I remember as I was a child, my parents running with this very big video cameras and doing
oh
videos
yeah,
back
just
then.
these huge
This
shoulder
really,
guides. Yeah,
yeah. What you now kind of remember of TV cameras, we had this as normal home cameras, kind of.
you had
Not
the
as
whole
big.
VHS fit in there, right? Unless you had the
Yes,
beta version, which was like, ooh, look
yes.
at this handy cam.
And all I mean, the quality was bad, and now we have those little kind of really small face cams, and they're doing real good quality, most of them. So that's just crazy. Or also the normal cameras nowadays. It's just it's just everything changed. I mean, that's normal, right? It's normal. But sometimes I'm scared of the pace we have changing the word, especially with technical stuff. So that's
Yep.
sometimes too much for my brain. I sometimes I do think my generation or somewhere in my generation especially is just we just born into a world that's so quick changing. We get used to one thing and the next day something else is coming. And it's just I mean, we kind of started off with vinyl stuff, then we got CDs, then MP3 stuff. Now it's just streaming music. It's just same with movies and stuff. We got VHS tapes, then we got DVDs and Blu-rays. Now it's all streaming. It's just we just got used to something and thought, okay, that's the future, and then something else is coming just shortly after, and we just got everything away and bought everything again, and we did this so many times by now that I do think, especially my generation, is just we just overblown with it because it's
Yep.
just we never can accept something as granted because we got so many stuff that was seemed to be granted and it got put away and we needed to do everything again and again and again. And I do think that's sometimes really a problem. So we just never be really stable in today's world because we're always thinking, okay, what's next? What we got taken away from us, what we think is granted. And I do think
Yep.
that is why millennials especially sometimes why we're so weird. Okay, we got everything got removed from us, we got everything, everyone got removed from us again. So it's just we are scared, you know, we just know what we should settle in because we always fear it just goes away again. So I do think
Yeah.
I mean, every generation has some of those stuff, but I do think that's the biggest thing what we have because we started with really it's everything, music, movies, TV, internet. We just have one thing for granted, and then it just moves on and on and on. It's just in a pace we can't really get with it, and I do think that's sometimes what really kills me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm speaking for me especially, but I think sometimes it's just crazy. It's just crazy quick and crazy crazy.
Well,
I can agree. It's truly overwhelming at the point.
are you folks? Are you both like? Viv, you just kind of brought it up, but this concept of rebuying media, switching platforms and rebuying media. I thought back and I was like, well, I've owned Indiana Jones in 3 different formats, right? VHS, DVD, and now Blu-ray. It's the same
Yep.
fucking film. It hasn't changed in 30 years. You know what I mean?
And then you buy it because you
But
have
I must have
hundreds of
spent
streaming.
$200 in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you need to buy it. You have hundreds of streaming platforms and services, but you still need to buy the movie because it's not in there, but you need to
Yep.
buy it digital as well.
Oh, they
And
lost
it's
the
just
license. Now I want to watch it. I got to actually go buy the physical.
and that's just crazy.
Yeah.
And I do think this also destroyed a lot of my generation, probably also
Yep.
in some of the other generations, depending on how much you were invested in those stuff. But I do think that definitely destroyed a lot of how life is being because
Yep.
that's really getting deep here by now. Because we always have the feeling, okay, where we should settle and what is next, what is just next, what we lose next. So
There's a
it's
movement now of
crazy.
people buying physical media again
Yep.
because of the
Yep.
fear of losing that. Yeah, there's always been the
That's
hipsters buying
the
LPs, but no, people like going out and buying DVDs.
I do that too. I started to do that because if it's on a streaming platform, I had it several times that the thing that I love got just yeeted. So I'm like, okay, then I buy it on DVD while it's still on because I loved a TV show. It's a Superman related TV show and I loved it when I was, I don't know, 17 or something.
Smallville.
And no, Superman, the Adventures of Lewis and Clark.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it. And it was out then, and there was no streaming yet. And if you wanted to get the DVDs, my brother once gifted me the second season, and he paid like $200, euros, not dollars. into America, 200 euros, and now you get them online again for 15 or 20. But back then, you couldn't get them because everyone wanted it because it was on TV, and then it wasn't on TV anymore. And so it was, and that's what's happening now again, I think, with a lot of media, that you have it on streaming and then suddenly it's gone.
Absolutely. And I mean, we have again and again and again the discussion about, for example, Steam games. You
Yep.
don't own
Yep.
them. You own the license to the game. But when they decide to get it rid of the streaming platform or whatever, then you don't have the game anymore. And I do think this discussion burns again and again and again. They never really found a solution whatsoever. But that's also a thing. You don't own the games anymore. But I mean, you have no different choice, to be totally honest. What is your choice for the most games? You can't buy them as this or whatever, because most of the games are not out there anymore. But you also see on companies like limited run games,
Yep.
run limited games.
I love that. I wish I had more because they're so expensive.
I have some, but I also need to pay the shipping because they come from the US, so I need to pay the shipping and the taxes. I was really sad last time that I also needed to pay not too less pay taxes on the one game. But that also is something you see how those companies and stuff they're working, because people want their games as a disc or a card for Switch or Nintendo or whatever. People actually maybe less being tolerant to accepting that stuff they bought is not theirs anymore. And I do think, I mean, it's still rare. I'm also need to say I'm really sure about this. I think so. Yeah, when I can play it, I play it. If not, well, not cool. But I'm not really getting the whole rage about it. But I do think people also often doesn't notice. They do think they bought the game, for example, Steam or also Epic or whatever, and they forget or they just don't know. I'm not sure that this game isn't theirs, and that's the same with streaming movies or series. It's nice when you have them in your 500 streaming services you pay by now, but when they not have the license anymore, it's gone, and then you can't watch it anymore, or whatever. Or you buy a movie on Prime or whatever. When they lose the license, you also lose the movie, even you bought it. It's just gone. So that's something to kind of make the circle back to our beginning. That was definitely better in the past, because when we bought a game, the game was ours. It was all saved on the disc or whatever, and it was yours as long as the disc not had any big scratches and you couldn't play the disc anymore. That's another story. But
Or the battery ran out for the Game Boy games.
yes, or I don't know.
1981, I think would still play. I'd have to see if this would still work or not. But 1981, my Munchman, it still exists.
So cool.
You know, I think it's interesting because we live in a wild time where recent games are being killed due to things like DRM, right? Have you guys heard of the Stop Killing Games petition?
Yes.
It's kind of big, getting traction in Europe. We have a little harder road ahead of us here in the States. But that Ross's Game Dungeon, the guy over there put this initiative together, kind of force companies to think longevity in their titles. Now, if it's an old game, right? We're talking, I don't know, anything prior to the PS1. You got DOSBox for PC games. You know, you got emulators for things like the Commodore, up to, you know, even the GameCube. There's like an emulator for, but you know, we live in a time where you now have better access to those older games than you ever did in your life. But within that context, you know, I looked at a couple of these old LucasArts games, like I think it was Loom. I was looking at that had a limited run game produced. And it was just DOSBox on a USB stick. You know, that's what it was. There was no physical media because no one's got a 3.5 floppy drive or a 5.25 anymore. You know, no one's got those
Yeah.
floppy disks. Even if they did, they're
Yeah.
probably demagnetized at this point.
Yeah.
But you know, you could watch a game die tomorrow because the DRM server shut down, or
Yeah.
you know, they lost the licensing to it. You see it happen. Certain games get killed all the time because they use licensed music, and then the license expires, and then they can't replace the music, like because there's no impetus for the company to go like, oh, let me go replace this music with open license music or in-house music. Hell, GTA 5, half of its soundtrack that it would release with isn't there anymore because they lost the licenses to it. So they have to replace it to keep the thing going.
Yeah.
And it's always guys with Ross in their name. Ross Scott, Louis Rossman. Yes, Louis Rossman is a good egg. He's the right to repair dude out of New Jersey. But yeah, I don't know. I think we need to claim some of that stuff. We need to kind of try to keep older games alive. Even if they're ugly, even if they're stupid, we need to save them a little bit.
Absolutely.
So that they're
But I also,
that's my take.
I mean, also, we can't have any game that is published today on a disc, right? I mean, when you kind of have a look how many games in a year were published,
Oof.
end of 90s, early 2000s, and you just have a look what is published each day on Steam,
Yeah.
on games. You can't put them all on disc. That's not
That's
how
the
it
other
works.
thing, yeah.
I mean, it's both. It's good and it's bad that we had less games in the back in the past because honestly I kind of I mean I got maybe 2 or 3 games in a year as I was younger, as I played with PS1, PS2, Game Boy, whatever.
Same.
Because first of all there was not a lot of games out there, and secondly money, for me at least. But what I think was the good part about it is you just stick to the game. It was difficult. You maybe were stuck for days on the same spot, but you tried again and again and again because you just had this one game, or maybe 2, 3 games to this time. So you just kept playing because there were no switch. Today, you kind of start a game, you don't like it, you're stuck, whatever. It doesn't even need to be difficult. You just stuck somewhere.
Yeah, I'm bored with this.
And you just switch to the next game because there are so many games out there. You have so easy access. You have so much to choose from. They are often, I mean, there are games that are way too expensive. That you also have those games, they cost shit, you know? You just have all of them. And I do think I kind of like that I have so many games to choose by now, but sometimes I kind of hate that I giving up way earlier than I would have in my teen years, because there I would just bite my teeth together and get through it, right? I just would try and try and try and try. I don't have this patience anymore, and I think that's just my modern me, and sometimes I'm sad about it. Okay, sometimes I wish I would be like my older self or my younger self in this case, and just would stick with a game and just try it again and again and again and again. But nowadays I'm just annoyed and just switch games, and that's also something to take in control when it's about older and newer games. And also sometimes there are games I wish there would be a physical version because I would love to buy it and put it in my shelf. Doesn't matter what it costs. And some games I'm just happy they're just digital and I just can delete them and never see them again. No, I don't know. But also, I mean, also doing or having those possibilities to have a lot of games out today is made games weirder. You have more weird games because people in the past would not do this, because when they would screw up a game, it could be the whole company was just rid out of the word because they just had this one shot in a year, or maybe just one shot in 2 to 3 years, because game developing back then was even more time investment and more difficult to do than nowadays with all the assets and put it to, not that it's that's easy today, but just in comprehension to what it was back then. So when they had one
one game in 2 years, and it was a flop. They had a problem because normally they couldn't pay their whole family and workers and whatever. So people back then obviously tried new stuff, but they kind of tried it also in a kind of safe way. And today you have just so weird games. Anyone remember we played this one chicken game on my channel with this really big giant chicken that chased
yeah.
us and stuff?
Yeah.
That
Remember?
that's just stupid. Or this Toilet Chronicle game. No one would have done this 20 years ago because it would just no one would buy it.
But also back then you didn't have as many indie developers. Like you had like the big companies, and they just did what the big companies do. Yes, Sven. I played it a lot as a kid.
Well,
I played that a lot.
I mean, I don't want to say there were no crazy game out there back then, but nowadays it's so much easier. You can buy assets, you have free assets you can use, you have whole sites where you just can buy a whole bunch of asset and put something together, and this is a working game. So it definitely changed a lot. So nowadays it's way easier to make a game. It's not easier to make a good game though. I just say it's easier to make a game. So, and I do think both of them has the good and the bad sides, that you have more to choose from, but also you're overfloated with games, not gonna lie. So also, Phil, you have a bot in your chat.
Already
Yeah.
taken care of.
Yeah, Siribot grabs it pretty quick.
So
That was
yeah,
me.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Samo. Oh, okay.
so yeah, it changed a lot from back then to nowadays. But I also think what Phil said, it's I'm always kind of happy seeing news like that old games getting like a remastered or something, because sometimes I'm really looking forward to play them again or something, because a lot of games back then deserve to get maybe even a bigger audience than they got back then or whatever. So I do like seeing old games getting out there again. I do just sometimes think they are not. They need to be remastered to get the audience working. So
Right.
yeah.
Or it can go the other way. I don't know if you guys played the new GTA's, the remastered 3 Vice City and San Andreas. And people like
I never played any
rebelled.
GTA game.
They hated the remasters. They were really poorly done, and people were super upset about it. I bought them for the Switch. I probably shouldn't have bought them for the Switch, but I did it on a whim. And I still haven't gone back and played them because they're just not great. I'd rather play them on PC or something else. Play the old versions with upscaled graphic kits and that sort of stuff. But then you have something like the Oblivion remaster, which I thought was actually pretty good, but it feels different now, right? Maybe that's me. It's still Oblivion. The quests are all still there. It's not like it changed that much, but
I mean,
Spark is
they're on
there.
a very, very small path there, right? Because I mean, yeah, but there's no discussion. When they're just poorly made because people want to make money out of it, it's not worth it. Just don't do it. If you want to remaster a game, put your passion and your heart blood in it, please, because then you see that the game mostly gets better. But when you just do it because it has a name and something is maybe, I mean, GTA 6 will come next year, maybe. Who knows?
We'll see.
They just know, okay, this name will be sell stuff, so they just do stuff to just do it and make money, right? So you will mostly see this. It will be different and people will not like it. Also, when you do remaster, there's a very, very small path between you really leave it like it is, and some people will think that's just the same old stuff, that's nothing special, I don't want to play it whatsoever. But when you change stuff, there will be the other group of people who's saying, you can't change this. It's not the same anymore. We want this exact same thing. So you can't make everyone happy, especially with stuff like this. Because there will be people like they're so deep in the emotional connection. They don't. What you clicking? They don't want to change anything, and then the others, they just want to see something new because they think they just deserve something special. So it's difficult, right? It's very difficult. And sometimes the remasters, in my opinion, looks bad. I mean, I never understood why we got a Horizon Zero Dawn remastered. In my opinion, it looks worse than the original one because it's so more comic style, and I not like this.
Well, there was even something to be said. I think I may have shared it with you guys. I can't remember if I did or not. But like back to those GTA remasters, one of the things is because their platforms were so weak at the time, there was a huge fog in the game that like draw distance fog.
Bilbo!
And now that you could
Sorry.
actually render the entire thing,
Sorry, chat!
the world looks way different. It's smaller. The fog isn't there, so you can see the end of the city or whatever. And all of a sudden now it looks, it's no bigger or smaller physically, right? It's still the same distance down that road in the game, but the fact that you couldn't see the end of it, like, played a psychological game with you that said, "Oh, this place is huge. It's so big it can't even fit on the screen," right? But now, once the technology is powerful enough to actually do the thing, all of a sudden it all looks really small. But nothing's changed. I don't know. I'll have to post a link somewhere in one of our Discords, but there's a YouTube video I watched about it. I was like, yeah, son of a gun. That's true. It all feels really small now. Plays the same, but with just that change.
Also, what Bolly says, people really into details or speed running absolutely gave them the piss. I mean, that's also a thing. People nowadays don't have the time they maybe had back then, and they just destroy their own feeling because they kind of try to get as soon as they can and just speed run through a game nowadays, just to show they are the best. That's also something I, for example, hate with streamers and YouTubers when they get a new game that is just released, or even before release, people just put the whole game out there already on the first day or even before it's released, just to be the first. And people just watch them and they're just rushing through everything. And I think that's a shame because games often have so more to deliver when you pay attention to your surroundings and also take your time to play through it. So I don't know. It's very, very. The player community also changed a lot.
That's true.
I'm guilty of that too. There are games I'll get and breeze through as quick as possible. And I don't know if that's just to check them off the list or because I don't care. But then there are games like I completely. Or here's another thing that I think that I've seen recently. Some games are so grand in scope that I can't imagine finishing them. Right?
Yes.
We hit
especially when you have the fifth side mission to complete a plate set or something. Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Or the last two Zelda games, which I actually really enjoy, but they're too big. I was trying to make this point in the slides earlier about Psychonauts, is that like you can 100% that game and it not be 800 hours. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can do it in 30 hours. Like, it's not like you couldn't. Each world has an X amount of those figments, those sketch things that existed, and they tell you where they're at. They tell you that they're here. Not where they are explicitly, but you got 4 left in the level. Go find them. But I remember even after like the second or third Assassin's Creed, there was like 8 different collectibles that had 200 scattered throughout this world, and you went, that's like 2,400 or 1,600 collectibles, and this world is massive. Who the hell's gonna do that? Like, the only way you could do that.
Doing it.
Yeah, but you got to print a list. You got to like organize yourself. You're not going to do it naturally. Maybe you are, but that's going to be the one game you're playing that entire time to get that 100%. And if it's too big, I mean,
never do this.
I'm just going to play through the
me.
storyline and be like, I'm done. But I also like that
too.
completion piece.
I mean, I play the main storyline, sometimes some side quests when they're running over my path, but that's it. I'm a really straight player from the beginning to the end, and that's it. I don't really like doing a lot of side quests, especially when they're not even telling me some story or stuff, when they're really just collecting stuff I don't care about. Like Horizon Zero Dawn with the plates and the cups or whatever they all had. There was a whole table set, I had the feeling. But that's just not my thing. I mean, if people are enjoying it, please go for it. But from the beginning to the rage quit, yes, yes, also very good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the that's there's so many games out there. We're back on this topic now again, and I just don't have the time and also not the patience to play them all 100%, especially when they're just so big that you just
Yeah.
need really years to finish them. That's just not my thing. I don't like playing stuff like this. I'm a story player. I always say I'm a story player, and I gonna vibe with me being a story player. That's
That's
it.
so valid. I think personally I'm bit of both. Like I'm not 100%ish, but for one of my favorite games, like, is Fantasy Life. And there I did a lot of side quests because you leveled and the story was done, but you could achieve higher ranks. And I wanted a higher ranks, so I did the side quests to level. But for example, for Uncharted, I would not look for all the hidden things to collect them. That's something different because I don't gain anything from it because from side quests I can level up. That I get higher ranks, so it gives me more playtime in the universe that I like with the things I do. But just the picking up all the pictures or all the hidden, I don't know, golden whatever it is, I don't do it. I started first with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, where I'm now just doing some side quests, but just because I want to be in the world and I don't want to finish the story because I don't want it to end. And so I'm just procrastinating the story end by doing side quests. But that's just when I do side quests, but otherwise I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, but I also think that shows how different we all are as
Yep.
players. Like we obviously are all different humans, and I mean, for me, is also the thing. I mean, I mostly play on stream, right? I kind of rarely play privately. So
Yep.
I'm normally playing on stream. And on stream, I kind of also want to make progress, kind of,
Yep.
because people watching me. Sometimes I'm just so annoyed that I not make a or a fight or something, not because it's the boss fight is annoying, just because I have kind of pressure that I want to go through because I'm thinking, okay, my viewers doesn't like when I just stick to this battle too long because I'm too bad, right? So that's also a thing. I think when I would play more privately, I would be more chilled and maybe also do more side quests and stuff. But I just I just play mostly on stream because I mean that's a trauma story again. I'm lazy when I'm playing because I not do it and I trick my brain into working when I do it for stream because streaming is work, right? So that's why I mostly play on stream. It's stupid and you all can tell me how stupid it is, but that's
If
my trauma.
I would never tell
Yeah.
you that it's stupid because honestly, my vision is if it works, it works. Like if it works for you to do what you love, to do it on stream, why not do
Yeah,
it? Honestly,
that's
well, why
yeah,
why judge?
that's why I started with YouTube because then I have the reason to play because it's work.
Yeah.
So, and it also stuck with me do streaming. So also streaming for me is kind of working. So that's why I can play without feeling guilty. So
Yep.
that's why I mostly play on stream. There are
Yeah, but
rare exceptions. That's when we play DBD on Monday, but that's also not me playing alone. That's in playing in a group. And
That's
when I do iRacing practice, and that's sometimes, I mean, that's also kind of work, right? I need to practice
yeah.
for the
What
races
just
to come
wanted to
up.
say. You also
So
qualifies.
My brain is really.
Plug the other camera cable. Oh no, not this one.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, not this one.
My brain is really broken in this, right? So
Mm, I think that's society. That's just pressure to be productive at all times, and that's why we have it so hard to relax. Because when we were kids, we were like, okay, we can game, but you have to do your schoolwork
yeah,
first, for example, and then you
yeah,
could play. But when you work for 40 hours a day, you did the work and technically you're allowed to relax. But then you're like, wait, but did I do enough today? Because I didn't, like, you don't have to do homework after school, which implies for you that you are done with your work because you're technically never done with your work. And so you're
yes.
like, no time to relax for me. I have
I
to
was I was
do
way too
stuff.
long in bed today, and that wasn't not. I mean, I tried to relax, but it wasn't relaxing because I always felt guilty, right? Because I just had this trauma. So yeah, you're lazy, you're not worth it, you will never do something worthwhile, blah blah blah. So even I try to relax, I don't really relax. So it's just a circle of feeling guilty, and it's just exhausting. But as I said, that's trauma, and I probably not get out of this. But that was my trick to actually start playing again, to do first YouTube Now streaming, and it still works. So I'm probably not stopping. But when you see me playing outside of stream, it is very 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 rarely. So I'm not sure how we even came to this, but that's what I wanted to say.
Yay,
It's mostly
trauma.
just DBD on Mondays outside of stream.
Yep. But that's also
Yeah.
kind of it's a group activity, right? I would not do it alone.
Yeah,
So I
that's
need people
friendship
who
thing.
who actually play with me. It's like now like a meeting we have each Monday, more or less each Monday. It's just in my schedule, you know? That's not.
It's also work. If it's in your
Yeah,
calendar,
I
it's
just wanted to say it's not because I want, it's because we scheduled it, but it's also not true. But it's I don't know, it's just crazy.
oh no, I just my brain took too late too long to process. Not because I want. Hour.
I mean, I want to play, but I need a reason. I need a fucking reason
Beep.
to play. To be allowed to play.
Yeah, because you turned 18 and then there were no one to be like, okay, now you're allowed to relax because you did what you had to do. And now technically you should tell yourself, but you can't because you never really learned how to tell yourself that it's fine to just calm down. And so our
Yeah.
bodies just never calm down and they're just always like
Do you have no idea how proud I was on myself? I normally not watch series or movies without doing anything next to it, but I really laid down and did nothing else than to watch the first part of Stranger Things season 5. I was so proud of myself that I really forbid myself to do anything else while watching this.
This is funny that you say that because the other week I just did the same thing because normally I watch TV and I have either my phone or the laptop or anything, and I just did the same thing. Just randomly just watched. But I think sometimes that's also because we like the shows a lot and we just want to
Yeah,
pay
I
attention.
mean, I never was so much into a show since a very, very long time. I think it's maybe the second really show I'm so into it that I really want to watch each second of it undivided with my whole attention. So that's a real big thing for me. So
I don't know
yeah.
if it's us just getting older or if it's just the modern era, right? Like, I'm that way too. I have a hard time just watching anything by itself. I feel like I have to do something else, even if that's cutting plastic for miniatures or typing or working on a script or doing something else, right? I think we don't allow ourselves to sit down and do that anymore, and I don't know what the remedy of that is because I feel guilty about it. I get the same feeling you get, Viv, when you're like, I'm not doing anything. God damn it, I can't.
But
This is lazy for me to sit here and just watch this for the
yes,
sake of watching it.
but I also think that's something to get back to something I said earlier, that the generations or that the life just became so paced. So the life or the words just get quicker and quicker and quicker and louder, and you need to be productive. And it's kind of also the pressure of the society that you're not allowed to relax and take just one thing at the
Mhm.
Yeah,
moment.
it's
So I
also sorry.
no, I was done, I think.
It's also that everyone is like higher, faster, further, like that. You have to have, I don't know. For me, in my youth, I thought I was married by 30 and I would buy a house. Now I'm 33, not married, I don't have a house. And now I'm like, what to do with my life? I'm not meeting society standards. So I have to do things to meet society standards because I wasn't raised like this. That's just solely society from outside, what you see, other people in your age, what they do, and you feel so pressured to achieve things you maybe don't even want to achieve. Like, I
Yeah.
just want to be happy working my 40-hour job and doing my thing, gaming a little, reading, writing, that kind of stuff. Just, it's just so burned in our heads that we have to go higher, study, take a higher job, more payment, higher job. And
Have a
some
family.
Yeah, family is
It's
super important in
I mean, it's like as my mom was in my age, she had a 15-year-old daughter, right? I have two cats. So and I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just Miska. Um it's just I don't know. The word isn't like we were born into it and as our parents thought it will be for us,
Yep.
because it just changed so quickly, everything. And then, as I said, we set it in and it just taken away again, and we needed to set it in the next one, and it's just continuing. And that's also with our life standards and community standards and society standards. And I do think we feel a lot of it because we were kind of grown up with different things than we can achieve by now. No one of us can afford a house anymore, at least not in Germany, and also Europe is. I'm not sure how the market is in America, but here you
Not
just
great.
can't. Yeah, you just can't buy a house here anymore. And honestly, you can have a 40-hour job per week, and you rarely can finance yourself. How should
Yep.
I finance a family?
Yep.
My, let alone from my mental state and energy state and everything. I have no clue how this should work. It's just crazy. Also,
If
Miska,
you
you stink. Sorry.
if you want to do that, you would have most often or more often than not, you have to have both people work almost 40 hours. And then why do you have a kid? Because you are working, you don't really have a lot of time to spend with your kid. And so back in the days, my parents, my dad went to work and my mom um worked from home and did the thing with me and my brother and everything, and still went to my grandparents and helped them out with stuff. I don't know how that should work nowadays. So you
I'll
couldn't do
be
it like
right.
that.
I'll be right back. My cat is leaking.
I know.
Leaking? Oh no.
Just yeah, she is leaking.
All
I'm back in a second or something.
right.
Interesting. I don't have a job, no kids, and I have financial debt. I feel like I have failed. I really do. Honestly, I don't think there are a lot of people in our ages who don't have debt and any in a way, or had debt in a way before somehow. And even if it's just um with family members, or you had to do something like that.
It's definitely harder now than it ever was. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but I feel like the baseline stakes are a lot higher. Like in that you could get away with a lot less back in the day, but now you know we're at least stateside. You know, cars are shittier.
Thanks for the resub, Linda.
They they break down a lot more. Everything is pedestrian antagonistic. It's harder, our public transit, broader public transit's getting worse. So you have to just spend more to get to your work, if you got a job. And then, most jobs, once you have a cell phone, and even if you don't, that's these things are like $800, €800. I don't know. How much was your guys' cell phone? Uh, for like a median one. I'm not even talking about a wild one. And then you got to pay.
Not so expensive because of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they all license ours. You have these payment plans, but then you're paying for whatever that data is. You're paying hundreds of dollars for that. I don't know. I hate this thing. This thing, I bloody hate. This thing kills me. Not to go old man shakes fist at cloud here, but I've never felt more exhausted.
Yeah.
Until I got a cell phone where my work and everything is completely connected to me 100% of the time. It's.
I mean, yeah, everyone can reach you 24/7, and I do think that's also something.
There is
you
no
don't
off
have
time.
a break anymore.
And the expectation is that you
just-
will answer, regardless of time. Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, we were at dinner, I'll call him back, or whatever.
When I was a teen, after I got internet, we met online on ICQ and such, and obviously everyone just came online when they had time, and then we were like, oh, do we meet again tomorrow at 5 or at 6? Or you were just online when you were on the computer, and whoever was online too, you talked to.
Mm-hmm.
I always said I think I got my first, we're talking about old things, and I got my first phone with like real internet when I was, I don't know, 2013 or something, because I had a flip phone back then because I was writing SMS. I got into the WhatsApp game so late because I was like, I don't want to have the accountability to be online 24/7. And now, like 13 years later, I pay for it. I paid for it with my mental health and with my body because you're just stuck to it. I developed a coping mechanism that when I'm anxious or uncomfortable, I unconsciously take out my phone and I just scroll and scroll because it shuts off my brain and I hate it so much.
It's easy to do. I mean, I've had to catch myself doing it, and that's why I had to take a big step back from social media. That was probably the smartest thing I've ever done, because I would find myself sitting there 45 minutes go by, and I was scrolling through Facebook. I didn't do anything productive. I don't know if I got anything out of that experience. Maybe I see a couple friends' pictures, but it's sad that that's the case, and it's sad to tie it back to the initial discussion, how much that's even permeating gaming, right? This this rapid, fast game consumption piece of it.
I mean, the thing is, a game is a big thing one day, and 3 days later, another game is a big thing.
Yep. The constant churn market.
This is also very, very difficult for a lot of those companies and a lot of those games, especially when they're also kind of being counting on multiplayer stuff, for example. They just need the players because otherwise those games are not working.
Yep.
So when they're kind of dying, like DBD is still a thing, right? DBD is still working. So you also have a big community. But for example, as DBD came out, there was also Friday the 13th.
Yep.
And I remember a lot of people playing this, but there was those. I mean, there were a lot more about this game and behind the scenes and stuff, but it's just the first that came in mind now as example. And then there is this cut because it not works, or like this Video Horror Society game what we
Yep.
played, where we had nearly an hour waiting time for a lobby and then you died the first 5 minutes.
Oh,
Those games are just not working without the players. So there can be a big thing the first day or a couple of weeks, and then they just gone because no one is playing them anymore. And that's often also a kind of a shame. I mean, yes, most of those games you can kind of fill in bots or something, like Cake Bash. You remember Cake Bash, Samu?
Natürlich.
That's also a thing. It was working with bots, but it was less fun with bots, in my opinion, because the bots were too good. But that's also something that is really kind of dangerous in this very, very fast-moving world, because games are a big thing, and the next day there aren't anymore. So, I don't know. It's Baloo.
It's hard to keep
It's
up
Baloo.
with everything, honestly. Like
Also,
when you're on social media, you see people posting. I don't know. It's like with Lethal Company was a big thing. Then there was Repo and Peak, and everything came like so close after the other that you just barely played one thing when the other thing came out, and everyone was just playing. And then you just, for a lot of things, you get it because you want to be part of that when your friends play it, and then you get it. And then you have a lot of those games, and you just rarely play them because they're in and out so fast you can't even really spend time on them.
yeah,
I mean, there are
absolutely.
games that I can't tell you the last time I played Lethal Company. And it was
Nor
like
did us.
every couple weeks, and then someone would be like, "Hey, you gonna get this game?" And I'm like, "Have we put 4 hours into the last one we bought?" You know, honestly, like, because I start looking at it cost per hour, right? That's like my justification. Hey, if this game costs $20 and I put 4 hours into it, I'm paying $5 an hour to play that game, right? And until
Yeah.
that value hits under $1, I don't view it as a good purchase.
I
100%
I
Kryptonium. Yeah.
I also do think DBD just got worth my money by now.
Yeah,
With
the-
my
but
1,000 game
that,
hours.
that's that's like I think a lot of people forgot, like when the lockdown went through,
Yep.
everyone just played games. Like I was playing Among Us
Yeah, Phasmophobia was a
3,
big thing
Yep.
through the
yeah,
COVID
that
times.
also. Like I was playing that 3 times a day. I couldn't even imagine to play that today because
Me
I
not,
couldn't
because
play
I
it
was the
anymore.
only person who needed to go out and work.
I
But I
I
had the
also
whole
worked.
train for myself.
I also worked.
But I
I
had
had nothing really change to my schedule because I went to work and I came back home. But d- now there, yeah, you say it's actually making a comeback, but
I
for
hate Among
ages
Us.
the group I played with back then, like those 3 people that um I dared to play it with back then, I wouldn't play it today anymore because I can't, um because of the play techniques anymore. But I haven't touched it in years by now.
I will never. I
So
hate this game.
yeah, I know.
Well,
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just that's again we're just overthrown with games, and everyone thinks their game is the big next thing, and maybe it even is. Also, Peak, it was a big thing, but now it just disappeared again. So it's just crazy. It's just sometimes I think it's really sad also
yeah,
because everything is moving so fast. Also, everyone needs to play the new game the first, and that's also not how it works. and then they're just rushing through, especially YouTuber and Twitch streamers, because they want to be the first one to beat it, to show it, because everyone's watching them. And I'm just so tired of this sometimes. Also seeing YouTuber putting the 3 first hours 3 days before the game comes out because they're actually allowed to show stuff before the game comes out. And I think so. Just let me my chance to just play it myself first, maybe. I don't know. So
Well, I'm guilty of like checking stuff out and being like, is this worth a purchase? Like
yes,
I do it.
but
I do it with you. I wait for you to buy an indie title and play it, and then I go, okay, this one looks good. I've done it with
But
both
you
you and
don't need
Samu.
but you don't need the whole game to see if it's something for you, right?
No, yeah. I mean, usually within the first hour, I can
Yes,
go,
see?
okay, here's this. All right, this looks decent.
But those people just put the whole game out there, especially before it's even published, because they're allowed to break, or not break the embargo, but to
But
post
they
it
have the
before.
early access, yeah.
Yes, and I think sometimes it's just so sad because they just try to be the first, and then they often just rush through because the shorter the video is, the more people watching it. Just I don't know. I do think that's a shame. I mean, I also gonna play one game next year when it comes out, just because I want to play it, not because I want to be the first to show you, or no. But it's kind of also like how Twitch streamers or YouTubers work nowadays, being the first and doing it the quickest and whatever. And that sometimes I think it's sad because we don't enjoy those games anymore. It's just rushing through to make money. I
Well,
don't know.
the platform incentivizes it. That's the other thing, right? It's trying to get out there and get your views in first.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell, Twitch drops, right? Twitch drops and releases. The developer will be out there playing the game on release day. You know, I've seen that happen. And
Yep.
you know, I don't know. I think part of the reason I wanted to start this series was in promotion of the slow game movement. In promotion of thinking about how you buy games, thinking about the lifespan of that game for you and what it means to you. Because like Psychonauts, I'm still playing the same copy I bought for PC back in the mid thousands, right? It's the same license. I'm still using the same copy. And I think we need to do more of that. I think more games that touch us, that hit us, that we can share with other people, that'll be like, you need to play this game because it's worth every minute. I can't recommend someone Repo or Lethal Company. I mean, I can. You want a fun 15-minute game to play with your friends? Go play it. Is it going to be on the games of my lives list? No, not at all. You know, maybe it is for someone. Maybe that's the game for them. But
I mean, when they have special connection to it, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I have 3 games of my life, and one is probably also kind of unusual because it's just the core memory I have with this game, not because the game is the game. It's just more would I connect with the game. So,
well,
I mean, it's
I think you
more
know
or
what
less the reason
style
why
you
I'm
like.
here today. So, that's also something to count in sometimes. It doesn't need to be the best of the best games. It's just because you have a special moment with it or special connection or something. There is no perfect game out there.
No.
The Last of Us is close, but there is no perfect game out there.
And one I haven't played still. And hopefully you can sell me on it. I mean, just because I haven't
can
had
try to sell you on 3 games. So, Chad, sorry, but you need to go through this with me in three streams because I have 3 games, and I will not decide on those 3 games.
Well, it's not meant to be like this is my favorite game of all time. It's more, you know, it's about here's a game that I think is really worthwhile. Here's one that really touched me. So I don't know. You could do 50 if you want.
No, it's just those 3.
Just those things. Okay. Well, I don't know, chat. You got any questions about Psychonauts as we wrap this up? Because I know it's late for my European cohorts.
Oh well.
I understand cohorts. And I was like, yay, I'm a horse too.
We're a horse. I mean, yeah, no, okay. I just thought about what end discussion. I mean, now we kind of had this discussion about all the new games and times, and I also was thinking how we can have such like those discussion for my games, but at least for 2 games, I actually know what that could be the ending discussion, what is slightly to do with the game. So
Like, I wish we got the interview video to work. Chat, go check out the interview video. I'm a little bummed. But it was pretty exciting and interesting. We'll share the link to it. But I think I'm excited to learn about your passions, both of your favorite games, some of your favorite games, I should say, and same with chat. I'd love to, if there's anyone you'd like us to do this with, let us know. I mean, our vision is to have this, like, have a guest come on and tell us about the game that they love. Right now, we're just kind of starting with us, but
you just need to kind of write us because we can't know it if you want to talk with us on those streams. You just need to tell us, please.
see Black Flag. I haven't played that one. It looks cool.
Yeah. Everyone who wants to be on this with us, just write us, and then we're gonna see what we can do. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe we do me next because I have 3 games, so we maybe can organize that I not have all 3 after each other.
Well, I can always go, in between as well.
But maybe I gonna start with one of my games next, and we all know what the game will be. So we all know what it will be. And also, I think with this game, we also can talk about and discuss about a lot about diversity in games, because those games definitely have a huge impact on diversity in video games. And also accessibility. This game won so many prizes to have access for blind people, for deaf people and stuff. So I think that's more the discussion we can have at the end about what means diversity for games and what means accessibility for games and stuff. So I do think that's a good wrap up discussion we can have later after I told you a lot about my favorite game. And definitely the favorite game of my favorite games, but I have 2 more I want to talk about later. So that's why I probably have 3 streams. But we maybe start next time with one of my games. We just need to see when we do this, actually. But I can tell you a lot about this game, and I probably will not stop talking about this game, so be there, ask me, tell me, talk with me. Sorry. We not have a date yet, though. We need to talk about the date.
Yep, and we got to figure out the technical issues. So I apologize to chat for that. I'll get that sorted here coming up.
I mean, it's the question what we need next time. When we don't have a video to show, the rest was working by now, right? I mean, the cameras are working, the slideshow is working, so I do think that's all right. We can do this.
That worked. I even had a sound for the slideshow at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Chad. I mean, Chad, you can maybe guess what my game will be next time, but
No one can guess. No spoilers
no,
in here.
no one
It's
can.
Okami.
No, actually not.
No,
I know what it is.
think
I'm throwing a red herring in there.
I'm still thinking of the third one, actually.
Crazy 7.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Not
Because
not Shadow of the Colossus
it brought me back to gaming, so that's why this game is special for me.
or Pokemon
But
Z.
definitely The Last of Us next, and then definitely Okami because of reasons. This game is just
Now you spoiled it.
sorry. It doesn't matter.
She blew the secret.
Most,
I didn't.
most of those people actually know me.
No, but yeah, I think it would be good if you be next because I still have to think about mine. Because I'm like if you ask me what games are important to me, I'm like brain blank.
So yeah, Chad, next is me, then maybe one of you or Samu,
Yeah, then
and
me,
then
I
me
guess.
again.
So we can have a, you know,
But if you
line.
want to be part of this, please just write us a direct message, join one of the discords, and just shoot us a message. So we maybe can throw the mix in between us talking about our games and you talking about your games with us and stuff, so we can have a nice mix up. So we're not being Phil, me, Samu, me, Phil. I don't know. That we'll all have a bit of different games and stuff we can talk about. That would be nice. Also, it's just important you want to talk about it. You don't need to do a master thesis.
Yeah. Sorry, I went a little ham.
You can always fill the
Sure.
fill if there's nobody else. Well, I'm the one with 3 games here, so
Oh, no, I have 10 I want to do. I just, you know.
Well,
I maybe would shoot in a special episode at one point, like we find some highly like treasure indie games no one knows about. Like every one of us maybe finding 2-3 indie games we want to talk about because and show.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
I have
because
one.
I don't think there are worth a whole episode just talking about one of those games. But I do think it would be kind of nice to have like a special episode about indie games no one knows about. You know what I mean? Like those mini games no one knows. And I do think that would be nice to have just more of those games in one episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Samu has an idea.
I hope I hope you like I mean I kind of hope you like this idea because I do think those games are not I mean they're maybe worth a whole episode but they're not so much to talk about normally. But I would like to show you some indie treasures no one knows about and like do this a special episode like episode what 10 indie treasure we know about whatever. That would be cool, I think, because I know so many indie games. They're very small, very unknown, and just to showcase them maybe a bit. So have for each game half an hour or something, and then just
Yep.
or less depending, and just talk about them shortly. You know, that would be maybe nice.
I think so. I'm on board.
I support that.
Good. Sorry for throwing this in, but it just came
No.
to my mind. Okay.
No, because like also then we could teaser that in the stream before we do that special, and the chat could also give suggestions, so
Yeah.
we could also pick that out. That would
Yep.
be pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's just maybe for some special episodes here and there. We just do some different stuff, but still being on the same pathway we do actually with the whole episode about one game. I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Good.
look, you know, if there's a particular creator you'd love to have us talk with, I can think of a few myself that I would love that we'll reach out to once we kind of do ours. Let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. KK.
KKK.
Oh.
KKK.
Yes, chat, you like? You can also say no if you don't like. That's fine. Let us know. We
I don't think
we appreciate your feedback.
I do think when Shed wouldn't like, they wouldn't be here and talking with us anymore.
Facts.
That's true. Yeah, the numbers would not be reflective of that. Very true.
And maybe there are even more people lurking, but as we all know, Twitch doesn't like lurker anymore, so.
Oh, what one guy? Me, Baldy?
No, Baldi is the guy.
Oh,
Who says no? Because no, Baldy, not allowed to say no. I mean, yes, you can say no, but you know.
But Baldi always is like the opposite of he said.
Yeah.
Somehow it feels like.
Yes. Baldi is those guy who always says something different just to be different.
But gladly we know he is meaning it funny.
Yes.
I'm
My
always
mummy
for
told me
being
always be
against.
nice. You're all so cute. You're all
Aw.
so cute.
Glad to have you all here, honestly.
Yeah, thank you all
Yes.
for hanging out.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Viv and
And
Samu.
then, yeah, sure.
Of course,
fun.
it's really fun.
I do like just chatting streams and stuff like this.
Yep.
It's just difficult when no one's chatting with you. Yes, you are free to do this, Baldi.
Even get it posted. Tschüss.
Jeez.
Good luck with the dogs.
Yeah, they'll be right here very soon. Come.
I'm looking at the stream of Viv and Samu. It reminds me of those word riddles, like those fill in between type ones. Because Phil is in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I am in the middle of you two in your
Yeah.
streams. I'm on the left
Samu
in
and
my
I
stream.
talked about who we do this. So we just talked about who is who, so who's where.
Oh, then I'll
Like-
flip. I'll sync them all up so we're not too different.
The names were right before for your stream.
Like the thing I thought you wanted to say a bad word, and the bad word
Well,
was included in the joke.
I didn't
but it
realize you
wasn't
meant it's
just
a
bad
pun.
word joke.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for the rant.
But ah, lovely, lovely.
That was good. Good wrap up.
Absolutely.
Fill in between. Fill in the plank. Like English
gonna-
class.
We're
words.
also gonna let you know when the next stream of this series is. I'm not sure we can still make this in December work, but probably. If not,
Yeah, we'll have
January.
to see with the holidays and everything.
But we got. I mean, I don't care about the holidays. But I just have one day, one dinner. That's it.
Same.
So we're gonna let you know over the Discords when the next one will be. Also, I'm pretty sure all of us will stream soon again. I stream tomorrow twice actually, so if you're bored, just join my streams. We're gonna play Paradise Lost. I just downloaded it before on my PlayStation. I downloaded it before stream, so
You had to download it. With the
yeah,
PS2?
because it was a digital.
Ah.
No, the PS4, not the PS2.
Oh.
The PS4. It was a digital. I think I got the key back then as that game came out.
And then key
And I-
makes sense. I just understood PS2 and I was like,
No,
Okay.
PS4. Sorry, the PS2 is actually out, shut down. No, we're gonna play Paradise Lost tomorrow, 2 p.m. CET, and in the evening we have Chaos Rallycross. So if you want to join Chaos Rallycross and iRacing with Sunford, please join. It's fun. It will be
it's
great.
chaos.
Yep,
Yeah.
I should be
Absolutely.
there. And I might stream it. We'll see. Stream it from the back of the pack.
Just follow us all on all our channels and you get the best streams. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Facts.
Everyone go follow Samu, Vivka. Most of you are already.
And
you
Phil.
and Phil.
I apologize for people who are following me. You guys are.
Why?
No, he says a lot of sorry, but he doesn't need to. But he's just doing it.
It's
He's not
amazing that you say
stopping.
sorry more often than I do, and I do say a lot of sorries.
Well, Patty's
You're not
taken
even
over.
reach, Phil.
Patty's in the lead right now. I'm actually behind.
Yeah. Yeah, Patty is
You-
always coming in and saying sorry for Phil and feeling yeah. So yeah. That's a game between them. Just ignore it. They're having fun.
That's good.
I also have a very bad feeling about this, Marcus. Thanks for the sound alert.
I was
Is
so
this-
confused. Like, what?
Follower fishers, followers called fisher
Fish
followers.
followers? Could be.
Say that 10 times really
No.
fast, one after the
I'm
other.
quite happy I brought it out that the first time.
Some- Someone called Bodo Wartke.
Oh yes.
How much fish could a follower fisher follower fish if a follower fisher fish could fish?
Yes.
1 million.
Too much fish.
No, they're called swimmers.
Swimmers.
No. You had to make that joke when my wife was here. That's the thing. You had to let like Kawhi and Cozy know.
Screenshot it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's yeah. Oh
Oh
my
boy.
gosh.
She's taking the dogs out.
At least two.
Oh,
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh.
Good
I will just join Fisher's stream soon and say, are we the swimmers now? Oh
No.
god. Yes, yes, yes.
The thing is like
when you're lucky, I'm forgetting it in 5 minutes. So
like it's literally a reference to I've been contemplating changing this channel name because it's from the followers of the apocalypse. It was initially a Fallout themed channel like 8 years ago when I first started thinking about doing Twitch, like, and then I put it down for years and I picked it back up, and that was just it's what I'm called. So it's a Fallout reference for followers of the apocalypse. That's why I'm follower
Cool.
Fisher. Because people are like,
I don't
oh, you
even
like to
know
follow
how
people?
my name was born. I have no clue. I forgot.
I know one.
Well, yeah. I have no clue how Baloo, how mine got together, but here we are. Here we are. Also, guys, if you want merch, there is a Black Friday sale on the merch. So you can buy
Oh,
merch.
sorry.
Also, it works worldwide. I still haven't changed the EU thingy there. But yeah, Black Friday is actually on if you want to have merch with some sale.
I gotta pick up my coffee mug in a couple days.
Fighten your swim where the swimmers are here. Oh my god!
Wait, that works. That works like really great. Also, with that one. Wait. Ah, why is this so small? Wait, this is tiny. Hello.
Hi. What's happening?
I
Oh.
need to find the
Yeah.
emote.
Oh no.
You have to put one. You have to mirror one so that it's.
I can flip it. I can flip it.
That would be so funny.
I knew Simon go back on that one.
Like then you have a subrate one, and the other one is just part of the what's that called? The arm thing.
Oh, the octopus.
Yeah.
I need to use my actual emotes in the raid message is what I need to do. I need to go fix that. But I also cannot go into channels like that, especially with like female creators. It doesn't look really
You
good.
can.
It's
You
just not going to look good.
can.
It's not going to look very nice.
Like I did not think any weird thoughts of that. I just think it's funny because you're follower Fisher and you're, that it just makes sense.
So tighten your swimwear. And then the swimmers are here, which is
It rhymes.
I know, but it's male gametes. It's a slang for male gametes in English. I don't know if doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're not going to talk about this. I don't need to explain this to you guys. Oh
Love
boy.
this chat. I love you, Chad. You're amazing. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, but Lou is just getting crazy here also.
Well, it's good.
Yeah, well, that was I think a good first episode. Even it probably went a bit different than full planned, but
I did have a different
It went-
vision, but it went well. I'm happy with it.
It went well.
I do still think that it was a good thing. But I also think that's kind of a good concept when we have first like a bit of about the game and stuff, blah blah blah, and then we kind of start a discussion after that is kind of connected to the game, but it doesn't really need to be about the game. You know, I do think that's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's swim out of here. So I do think that's good. I mean, as I said, for my game, I also probably want to just tell a bit about the game, blah blah blah, and what's happening, blah blah blah, and then maybe doing really a discussion about diversity into gaming industry and games and how important it is to
Yep.
have this visible and also kind of big studios putting this in their games, risking a shitstorm. They had a real shitstorm with the second one, so I do think about talking about this, how important it is, and blah blah blah. I think that's a good cats. That's a good discussion.
Yep.
Teasers,
Agreed.
whatever. So yeah, I think that's a good concept. It was not as we probably planned or as Phil planned it, but I do think it is a good one. It's a good thing to do. Also, you can just have a lot of active time in chat discussing with us and giving
Yep.
hints and ideas and your opinions and stuff. So I do think that's a good thing we can make here.
Yeah, I'll wrap up the interview. I'll put the shortened one up on Twitch because we can upload, I think, 2 hours as affiliates.
No clue.
So I'll put up that because that's about 30 minutes, and I'll put the full interview up on YouTube, and you guys can check that out. Because I thought we had good discussion, and that's my saddest point. Was like I thought that interview was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yep.
And you can see me in a very nice Nesca hoodie.
Yep.
And cats. You definitely also see cats.
I was gonna say the cats
Oh.
are definitely there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shed, thanks for being here. And I hope you had as much fun as we had. And I hope you're gonna want to see another episode. And I also hope you want to be part of one of the next episodes. So if you have a game, you want to talk about it. And I mean, you don't need to be scared, especially the discussion later. We're gonna lead this and stuff. I mean,
We're good talkers, apparently.
absolutely. I'm talking a lot on stream. I'm talking a lot, so I'm always also someone who is kind of getting. I lead now. I don't know. So if I ever do this too much, please tell me. But yeah, I do think that's a cool thing we do here. And also for my chat, I try to plan new chat waves, but it's really difficult at the moment because they say yes, and then they start ghosting me as soon as it's about to find the date. So I don't know. We gotta see. But that's also something that will still be happening on this channel, don't worry. But yeah.
Yep.
I think that's it for today. So Phil, it was no this side. It was
This
your I still try to do this with my hands, so it's not really working.
But I'm over here on my stream. That's you're pointing
not
off.
on mine.
I know.
On mine, you're perfectly in the middle. So,
there you go. All sides. Big arms. We're all doing big arms. Okay.
it's your episode. You're about to bring this to an end today.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yep.
Thanks, Peter, again for the interview. Keep an eye out for that, and we will see you guys next time. I feel like we've been saying goodbye for 15 minutes, so I'll just keep it short.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. That's how much we have fun
Wait.
because we just not want to leave. It's like me yesterday playing Callisto Protocol, and I was I finished and soon I will finish soon.
Let me also just, before you end it, let me also just quickly say thank you everyone for being here because I didn't have the chance to jump in. Thank you everyone for being here. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Now you go.
Take care and swim easy. I can't.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. I never put up the end slide. Jesus. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.